It's only me, Claire Baker, former clutterholic, founder of clutterclearing.net, bringing you my weekly vlog about my own clutter clearing journey, which is my weight loss clutter clearing journey. I've been on this journey since November 2015. So, how was your week? Hope you had a good one. I've had a good week in terms of, in general, frustrating, however, with the weight loss because I've stayed the same again. So I have definitely plateaued, and I definitely need to look at the reasons behind that. One or 2 weeks I can kind of offset as, you know, it's just one of those weeks. But I don't know why I've had another week where I've stayed the same, and it's just really frustrating. Quite frustrating because, just like with our physical clutter in our home, I know that this is like a conveyor belt. Things come onto the conveyor belt into your home or into your body, stay on the conveyor belt or stay on your body or your hips, and things hopefully at some point come off the conveyor belt. Now, the only reason why I have stayed the same is because the amount coming off my conveyor belt has equaled the amount coming on to the conveyor belt, i.e. I've been eating the same amount that I have been burning. And that is really frustrating because I have definitely done plenty of exercise today. Been to the gym, or this week, been to the gym 3 times. Did my swimathon on Friday, 100 lengths. Thank you if you sponsored me. I went for a cycle ride with my husband in the Cotswolds on Sunday. It was gorgeous weather here on Sunday in the UK. Very unusual to have good weather on a weekend. And so we did a 14-mile circular cycle. The instructions said there were a few gentle inclines. Well, I was going up them in first gear, but I stayed on the bike, and it felt good, really good. Nice to get the sun on the skin, but nice to do some exercise. So again, I know that I've not done anything differently in terms of the exercise, so the only reason why I've plateaued and stayed the same is because I have eaten too much. And I didn't think I'd eaten that much. So I'm kind of in that place of denial, I guess, which I had when I was working on my physical clutter in my home back in 2001. We convince ourselves that we're not really accumulating, when in fact we are. So yeah, really, really frustrating. I have noticed, I think, if I'm honest with myself, over the last couple of weeks that perhaps I've fallen into a bit of an old pattern. When I did Weight Watchers back in 2001 and 2009, I kind of had a pattern going where on weigh-in day, if I had lost weight, and then to be honest, it got to the point where just on weigh-in day, that was the day that I would have a bit of a pig out. Here, yeah, it would be going and getting a Chinese and not counting my points. It was a Chinese actually as well when I lived in Croxley. So yeah, and I think over the last couple of weeks, that has probably happened for me. So, for example, last week I went into town after my counselling session. Was it after my counselling session? Anyway, I was in town, and I went into Marks and Spencer's and I got some white chocolate cookies, which of course are carbohydrate and sugar, which are the 2 things that the rest of the week I don't eat. But I did on that Tuesday. So I think that's been creeping in, and I think what that's doing is setting me up almost for the week where I kind of overthink it in my head, overthinking being something that I realised, Marisa, my counsellor, helped me highlight. I almost have this internal conversation in my head, as in, oh, it's all right. I had it on Tuesday. I'll lose that by next Tuesday. I'll offset that by next Tuesday with the exercise that I'm doing, and it makes me more likely to have another carb injection almost later in the week, and I think that is probably what is going on. You see, Saturday was the clutter clearing spring event. Really enjoyed that. Again, the ladies we went from 9 people who were coming, and then on the day there were 3, but actually that was absolutely fine because we were able to really talk in more detail, which was great. Yes, the venue put on a very nice buffet with chips. Oh, they smell good. But again, I was quite capable of not eating. I wasn't hungry. So what is it? What is it? So if I can crack that of, you know, not, it's not even indulging or overindulging, it's eating the things that I know that I am not eating, carbs and sugar. Maybe this is where the real addiction starts to kick in. The closer I get to goal, they do say that the last, is it half a stone is the hardest. Well, maybe for me the last 3 stone is the real challenge. It's the same with the clutter clearing. We get to a point where we've cleared so much in our home that we kind of go, oh, it doesn't matter if I have one room that is cluttered. Look how much I have done. Yet it's frustrating because it's almost like the gremlins that are there. It feels almost as if the gremlins are growing a bit, and I'm not quite sure what those gremlins are, because I've dealt with so many gremlins so far on this journey. But again, I don't. This is learning such a new skill. Not wanting to overthink it or overanalyze it, because I can get a paralysis by analysis, and also don't want to overanalyze it because I don't want to focus on the past. I want to be focusing on the future, but I feel like I can't move forward unless I do understand why it is that I'm doing these things that I know that I shouldn't do. Does that make sense? So I kind of want to have a little bit of analysis, but not so much that it causes the paralysis, if that makes sense. I am somebody who just learns by understanding, but as Marissa has said to me several times, you know, you may never understand, you may never know. You just got to focus on the present and the future, you know, and I suppose that's me making a commitment. Today is Tuesday, and I am consciously not going to do what I have done in the past by going and having carbs. Yeah, because last week it was the Marks and Spencer's white chocolate cookies. The week before it was Pizza Express with my husband. So yeah, I'm. It's like I'm convincing myself, telling myself you deserve it, and actually I don't deserve it in the sense that if I haven't lost weight, just like with clutter clearing, we only reward ourselves at the end of a clutter clearing session if we have got something off the conveyor belt. So even if I was rewarding myself, then I should only reward myself if I have lost some weight. And I need to have non-accumulation rewards. Practice what I preach, because I tell everybody, don't go shopping for stuff that is going to come onto the conveyor belt, although food is fine because it will come off the conveyor belt theoretically. So yeah, I need to figure out some other rewards, don't I, that are non-food carbs related. Okay, I shall do that. I am also frustrated because I haven't got many clothes. Lots have come off the conveyor belt. And although last week I thought clothes weren't going to be enough of a motivation, I think actually they are a visible, tangible goal. And so maybe I do need to buy some clothes in the next size down, hang them in my wardrobe, and if either they are slightly snug or don't fit. Maybe I've underestimated the value that having a physical clothes related goal in the wardrobe makes. It does feel a bit frustrating. I feel like I'm wearing the same clothes all the time, and even those are getting a bit too big and too baggy. So the irony is that although I've plateaued and not lost any weight, I think because of the gym and the exercising that I'm doing, I am still changing shape. So in terms of the conveyor belt, it's as if, okay, I'm accumulating the same amount as I am clearing, but I'm reorganizing what I have on the conveyor belt, and reorganizing creates a little bit more space, makes it look better, doesn't actually clear any clutter, but makes it look and feel better. So maybe that's what I've been doing, because I feel the physical changes, but obviously they're not being translated into the weight. Yeah, lots of learning and feedback. And I don't know if it's relevant, it's almost certainly not, but my husband and I have got into watching something called The Gilmore Girls. Now, this is an American drama comedy that was on the TV between 2000 and 2007. And we just watched the first series, and it is actually quite funny. But it's about a woman who had a child at the age of 16, and her relationship with her child, but also her relationship with her parents. And in fact, my husband said it first. Oh my goodness, it's like that's your parents. And the way that the parents are in the programme it could be my parents. The only difference is that I'm not the character with the child. The only thing missing is the child. And I don't know, that kind of, when I watch an episode, I'm almost kind of like, oh, come on, tell me how do you deal with this? It's only, fiction, but to see a programme that is as if that's me and my parents is a bit strange. So maybe that's leading to a little bit of overthinking and over-analysis. Although I'm not aware that I'm overthinking or over-analysing. I'm just going, oh my goodness, that is me and my parents. And my husband is saying the same as well. So yeah, I enjoy watching them though. Okay, so that's lots of learning and feedback this week, and kind of a lot to work on. Method. Still feel I need to fill up the freezer with food. Haven't got round to it yet, because then much less likely to buy things that are not part of the eating plan. And maybe I need to have a regular supermarket weekly order, so that I have things in the fridge, so that I am not tempted to go and buy Marks and Spencer's white chocolate cookies, which are lovely. To have the cheese, to have the pork scratchings, the things that I used to snack on. So hard not to say should, isn't it? So yes, I think again I just need to plan better for that, and I'm also going to give up baking so that I don't have that temptation. I did baking for the spring event on Saturday, really enjoyed that, but it's too much of a temptation to do it at this stage. I thought I was okay with it, and maybe I'm not. Maybe that's not helping. Maybe that's making me think I'm going to treat myself to some carbs on weigh-in day, Tuesday, because I've smelt the baking that I've done for my husband at the weekend. Maybe the smell of carbs and sugar is addictive. Yes, so giving up the baking. Thankfully, ran out of self-raising flour at the last week, so not going on the shopping list, not getting any more. And if I don't have self-raising flour, I can't bake. Doing the doing. Did a week last week of the increased resistance and the number of reps at the gym. Really felt it last night. Kind of wasn't in the zone last night really to do my workout. I did it, and we cycled there and we cycled back, but yeah, energy was low, motivation was a little low. Time, patience as always. It'll be what it is. I said last week about the seeds. You may see my seeds on some of my seeds on the side. The sunflowers are doing really well. That brings me a lot of joy, seeing the seeds. My cauliflower and broccoli are coming up quite nicely as well, as are the peas. To be honest, I don't know what's what. I didn't label them. I like the mystery of what am I growing. So yes, that's good. I enjoy that. Tonight, Tuesday evenings, are gardening nights before the Skype Clutter Buddy group. So yes, I may plant those out. And also the getting out and the birds had a delivery of bird food yesterday. I think the birds thought they were on a diet, or sorry, not diet, new eating plan, and put loads out yesterday. So I'm hoping they'll come and visit today because I've missed the birds. I do love the birds coming to the garden. Finally, support. Counselling continues, as does the TRE. Not conscious that anything's come from that since last week, but again, it's doing stuff at a subconscious level. And the ladies who came to the spring event, they don't know it, but they are actually quite a support for me. Just sharing the honesty that we can have in those gatherings is lovely. My obsession with everybody knowing that they're not alone definitely came through. And one lady, actually Wendy, who had been to the last event 2 years ago, the last spring event 2 years ago, and she walked in the room and she noticed the difference. She noticed the way she said, "Oh gosh, it's like a new you, a completely different you. Is it you, Claire?" So that's always nice sort of feedback. So yes, a shift this week. There's a shift this week. Almost, I feel as if up until Christmas, it was, with hindsight, fairly easy. You know, eat the right things, the weight fell off. That's because I had so much weight to lose. Now we're kind of getting into the nitty-gritty and the real, these are the habits I need to form. And even though I was doing them for a year before Christmas, it just proves to me how long it takes to really get deep-rooted habit change, because it doesn't take that much to derail me. I suppose it's a bit like alcoholics. They will always be alcoholics. They will never be able to have a drink again and almost be safe and be sure that they can control it. And that's going to be me with carbs and sugar. It only takes it only takes one white chocolate cookie for me to get back on the wagon, or to fall off the wagon, I should say. You know, and that's kind of a realization, which is important. And again, that is the parallels with clearing our clutter in our home are not lost on me at all, because I could easily have the temptation to go and buy loads. I think I said last week that we went to the garden centre, and I was really proud of myself because I didn't buy loads of plants. I bought what I needed, and that's huge for a clutterholic. Not to impulse buy, not to overbuy, and not to comfort buy. Maybe that's part of this. Maybe that's a bit of a concern for me with the clothes. Getting some clothes for the wardrobe that are in a smaller size. Maybe subconsciously I'm aware that I could very easily overbuy, and I don't want to obviously waste money if the clothes aren't going to be there for long. Yeah, maybe there's a part of that going on. So I need to write a list of what I actually need in terms of clothes, and it's not very much, and then go shopping according to the list. That is what I will do. Okay, thank you for listening and for me babbling on, but this has helped. It's like a counselling session in itself. Let me know how you got on this week. I always love to know that I am not alone. And let me know how you're planning to deal with Easter weekend. And yeah, I'm allergic to chocolate, so it's not an issue for me. But let me know how you're getting on, and thanks for watching. Take care. Bye-bye.